Welcome back, YouTubers. Thank you for joining me. And today I'm working on a 2008 Toyota Camry. This is the V6, the 2GR FE engine. Customer states that the transmission is not going in gear at all the gears. I've already drained the transmission. Shiny metal is coming out of the oil, so that means the transmission is gone. The transmission is gone, trust me. This has 250,000 miles on it. I've already started disassembling the suspension. I have not started the engine. You guys can see suspension already off. I took off the suspension in my other video already. If you guys want to know how to take off the suspension, there's a video that I've already made on this car. But in order to remove the transmission, you will have to remove the suspension because you have to drop the lower subframe and the exhaust pipes. So since I've already finished the suspension right here, driver's side, we're gonna start off with the top here. We're gonna need to clear all this. All this needs to be cleared. So the battery, this intake pipe right here, that intake box, the shift linkage cable and stuff like that. All this everything from the transmission will need to be removed. So let me put the camera down and let's start with the battery. Someone was already working on this. You guys can see zip tie. This is that. Yeah. Don't do this. And like, I don't even know what that is. I have not worked on this. The only time this is my first time working on this vehicle. The only thing I've done so far is just the suspension. Yeah, 10 millimeter deep socket. The original, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 10 millimeter, but this is aftermarket. It looks like someone's been beating it. I don't know. That's going to be a 13 for sure. Take the battery out. Pull it out. Then we're going to go after the intake pipe. Like I said, let me set the phone down and then let me take the battery out and then walk you guys through this intake pipe. I got the battery out. Positive, negative. Next we're gonna move this box right here, the intake box. Back here is gonna be the clamp to the throttle body or the drive-by wire, whatever you guys want to call it. 10 millimeter. This clamp right here to the intake. Just squeeze. Just pull like that. Then here's a mass airflow sensor. Squeeze this tab right here. Pull back. There you go. Just set it to the side for a second. We're gonna get this box out of the way. And you got these 3 tabs right here to the box. 1, 2, 3. Got this screw right here. And you got these 3 hoses right here. I went ahead and just color coded these 2 because they're so close to each other. And not only that, these 2 right here, they run they're together. So if you accidentally pull them and say when you go back to install it, you put it this way, you mess it up. Well, it's damaged now, but I'll fix it. But that way I know yellow to yellow, orange to orange, then no color to no color. I'll have to find out where it's damaged in here, but the box is almost out. Like I said, just pull this. It's pretty much free. Just gotta remove this. This one's missing. This 10 millimeter. See, this pipe is already off. In this box, you just push back. messed up. Well, this came off. I'll reattach that. But I'm gonna get the whole box out and then we're gonna keep on going forward. So the intake box and the intake pipe itself is gone. These wires right here they go on top of the intake. They were the ones that are connected to the intake. Now we have the filter here. We could have moved the filter earlier. I just wanted to show you guys the filter. Then inside the filter here, the box, you got 3 of these 10 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, and then this box should just lift up. And then this pipe right here to the intake box, just another 10 millimeter. Then we're probably gonna go after the starter next. The starter and the downpipe. You have to remove the downpipe and the oxygen sensors and the bottom stuff, but mainly just the downpipe and the subframe. But I'm gonna move all this stuff and then I'll get to the starter. Once I get to the starter, well, I'll show you guys how to take the starter out. The box is gone. Here's the starter. This is the starter right here. You're gonna have these 2 14 millimeter bolts. One right there. The other one on the back end. On this side. Right there. Then you're gonna have this harness plug right here. The signal wire. Squeeze. Pull back. There it goes. This is the power wire. It's a 12 millimeter. You don't have to take it off. What I recommend is if you follow it, it's connected to this harness right here. Squeeze and pull up. Then it's connected to this bracket right here. It's a 10 millimeter. Just unbolt this 10 millimeter bracket. It's the power harness. Or you can unbolt it here, leave it on the car, whichever you prefer. Or if you want to go this way towards the box, whichever you prefer. You could move it here, move it here, move it here. Just get out of the way. We need to remove the starter. So once I remove the starter, we have to move a lot of these harness too. We don't have to unplug anything. We just have to get out of the way. Like right here to the computer module. This is the TCM right here. Then you got this breather hose right here. You got a ground right here, a ground right here. You follow it, the ground goes over here. Like you follow some of these. There's the mass airflow. There's the mass airflow right here. The shifting cable right there. This one, the one that goes in the back. This is the shifting cable right here. There's a few stuff we're gonna have to do, but then it's the easy stuff. 10 and 12 millimeters. I'm gonna unplug this thermostat housing sensor, the temp sensor right here. I don't want to damage it. It's stretched. And then this is your shifter cable. You can either remove it from here. Back here there's the nut, 12 millimeter. Or what I'm gonna do is, you can move it here, but there's a locking tab right here. You just pull up, it'll release. But there's these two 12 down here. If I can show you guys, right? They're like down here. You got one right there, one right there. The other one's back there. You can't really see it, but it's under. It's under the cable. See it? Right there. The other one's right there. I'm just gonna move it from there. Those two 12s. This is the shifting cable. If you come back up here, you have a few more harnesses. Like, go back to the shifter. There's a cable right there. This one. Unplug this one. Squeeze and pull. If I can do it. If not, I'll do it off the camera. But this one, remove that one. Follow it back. Remove all this harness right here. There's another 12 right there. You follow it. Keep on going. Unplug it there. Then this is your TCM. Unplug it from back there. Then on this car, you will have to drop the subframe. I'll show you guys once we get there. But we want to make sure we get all this cleared. So just go through slowly. Unplug everything off the off the transmission, all the harness, cables, grounds. All the harness and the grounds are loose. The shift linkage cable is loose. In front of the transmission here, you're gonna have the TCM. It's held in by two 12 millimeters. 1, 2, right there. And on the side here is the harness. The harness is right there. On the side here. Squeeze, unclip. See? Once it's locked in, it'll clip like that when you put the new transmission in. But yeah, pull like that. See? These are sometimes a little stuck on there. And then what I like to do is let you get like a little wedge like this or a flathead screwdriver and just start going at it from the side here. It'll come out. These are always seized in here. They're always a fight. But I'm gonna set it down. I'm gonna use a little pick like this and work at it. Then down here you got your transmission cooler lines to the radiator. I marked one of them red. I left the other one. I didn't mark the other one. It just takes a plier. I marked one red because that way I know which, where it goes. You'd be surprised. A lot of people would mix it up and just randomly mix them together. We're gonna go ahead and move this bracket. 3 10 millimeters. You got one there, one also right there, and the third one right here holding the harness on. Bracket comes out. I'm gonna put it to the side where the axles and all the other stuff is. Once you unclip the TCM, remove the 2 lines. We're gonna go down there and remove the exhaust pipe and work on the subframe and the rack pinion. I'll show you guys once we get there. This is the front of the car. This would be the radiator right here. You guys see this is the AC line. The AC line's right here. Got one here, one there. This is the subframe. Your oil filter housing right here. The reason why I'm explaining you guys to this is because this is the front of the car. I don't want anybody saying, well, where are we at now? This is the front of the car. Down here is your oxygen sensors. You got 2 of them right there. To the front, this is the front cap right here. This one. This pipe goes that way. And then I went ahead and there's 2. I didn't want to mix them up, so I went ahead and marked one of them blue, so you guys can see right there. That way it goes into the right slot. And then I just followed it through the subframe here, and it's going to be this one. I also marked it blue. Right there. I also marked it blue. Then what you want to do next is, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to do this. Just grab your oxygen sensor socket. It's going to be this one. Right there. 7/8 or 22 millimeter. This is a 3/8 drive. Go through there. Get your long ratchet like this. This is like a 18-inch ratchet. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand, guys. I'm sorry. Make sure you go loose, left. Make sure it's nice and square along here. You don't want to strip it. Nice and square, lefty loosey, righty tighty. There he goes. It's loose. You guys probably can't tell, but it's loose. I just broke it loose right now. And you guys can tell the line moved too. It's loose. Let's see. I'll take it off. And then I'm gonna do the other one. The other one is gonna be this one right here. Same thing. Put your tool on. Put your tool on. Like that. You're gonna find a way. Like this. Then put your ratchet on. Go left. Lefty loosey. Righty tighty. I'm gonna work at these 2 oxygen sensors. They come back here to the front of the car again. And unclip these 2 harnesses right there. Okay, so we removed the oxygen sensors. One right there, the other one right there. I've unplugged the harness. The reason why I removed the oxygen sensors because the oxygen sensor, the main harness is on the car. It stays on the car, but they ran it through the subframe. So this is the little bracket that holds the oxygen sensor. So regardless, you're gonna have to remove the oxygen sensors. You don't have to take them off, but you have to remove them off the pipe and the subframe. I've already done that. Next, you're gonna have these 2 nuts right here in the front. They're 14 millimeters on the exhaust pipe. This is the front cat. This one, and the other one is right there. 14 millimeter. 1, 2. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. They're going to be on there really tight. So you might want to get some like PB Blaster or WD-40. Then you work your way back, follow the pipe. In the middle here, there's a bracket. These are 12 millimeters. I've already loosened them. 12, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Set it to the side. If you keep on going, this is the flex pipe. Here's the other part of the cylinders. This is the back portion, the bank number 2. Behind the bank number 2 here, there's gonna be 2 of these 14 millimeter bolts also. These are seized on there, but I got them off. Like I said, if they're seized on there, spray with some WD-40 penetrating oil. Years and years and years of heat, rain. This one's loose. As you guys can see, I already got it loose. It's loose. It's just hanging now. Then you go back here. Follow the pipe again. Keep on going back. This is the back of the car. We're going back. You're gonna have this middle bracket. People say you can just push the muffler pipe out of the bracket, which you can. But since it's held in by 2 of these 12 millimeters, I'm just gonna take these off. I'm not gonna fight the bracket. The other one's on the other side. If you guys can see. I'm gonna leave it up there because I don't want the pipe falling on my face right now. I'm gonna set the phone down and then do everything. Keep on going. We got 2 more bolts that way. Keep on going. This is the middle now. This is the middle. You got these 14 millimeters. They're gonna be nuts on this side, bolts on the other side. So you're gonna have to use a wrench and a long ratchet. I use my long 3/8 ratchet. I got them off, as you guys can see. Right here, 14 millimeter. They're gonna be on there really tight and rusted. Spray some WD-40. So you guys can see, I sprayed WD-40. I let it sit overnight. I actually let it sit for like 2 nights because we were waiting on parts. Sorry guys. Okay. The bolts. It's loose. We're gonna remove the pipe. I'm gonna remove the pipe and then out of the car, and I'll show you guys exactly what I was talking about, because down here is very tight, and a lot of people might get lost and confused. So I'm just gonna show you guys and pull it out and walk you guys through. This is the downpipe to the car. I got it out. This would be the front of the car, and if you follow it back, this would be the middle or the going towards the rear of the car. So this would be like the middle of the car. Then these are the 2 oxygen sensors I was telling you guys about. You're gonna need the special oxygen sensor socket. Then you got these 2 14 millimeter nuts right here. 14 millimeter. And these are the 2 12 millimeters I was telling you guys about in the middle. 12 millimeters. And this is the other side. This is the first bank, second bank. Well, I think this is the second bank. It's one of the other. This here's the other bank. It's 14 millimeter also. The bolts, they go from the bottom like this. I just pulled them out, left them here because I don't want to lose them. I'm going to keep it with the downpipe. And if you keep on going, these are also the 12 millimeters that holds the bracket. Then towards the end of the downpipe is these 2 14 millimeters. So this is the downpipe. You have to remove it. Then we could move the subframe and the rack pinion. Before we can remove the subframe, there's a few smaller things we have to do. Like we'll have to, like this is this side is the passenger side. The brake calipers right here. What we got to do is remove the power steering line off of the subframe. So there's gonna be back here, 10 millimeter bolt right here, holding this bracket on. I've already loosened and taken it off. Right here. It's bolted onto the frame itself, behind the lower control arm. Right here. This is the lower control arm. Okay. And then if you go behind, if you move this cover, there's this plastic cover here on the passenger side. There's one on the driver's side also. You want to go ahead and remove these 2 plastic covers. There's gonna be 3 bolts, but this is all that's left on this car, considering a lot of people have been working on this car before me. And there's your crank pulley. Next to your crank pulley, if you go over, if you keep on following this line right here, this is the power steering line. There's another bracket back there. Set the light on the crank pulley. Back here. That bolt right there. 10 millimeter. Go ahead and take that out. There it is. Just a bracket. See? It's loose now. So we gotta drop this whole subframe. This whole subframe has to go down. And then the rack pinion is this one. If you look, this one. This is the lower control arm, rack pinion, sway bar. The rack and pinion is held in by that bolt right there. 19 millimeter. That one. 19 millimeter. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. And it goes all the way through. There's a nut. I'm going to try to show you guys. Lift this up. There's a nut like right there. The nut is right there. This one. 19 millimeter. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. You guys can hear it. It's loose. Same thing on the other side. I'm gonna show you guys. But there's only one power steering line on the passenger side. There's not a power steering line on the driver's side. But then same thing. There's still a bolt that holds the rack and pinion going through that way. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me go to the driver's side. Now I'm on the driver's side. This is the lower control arm. This is the motor mount, the transmission motor mount. As you guys can see, there's no power steering line. This side is clear. The rack and pinion is this one right here. This one. Follow it. Behind the sway bar, right there, is the nut. 17 millimeter. Earlier I said 19. I'm sorry, guys. 19 is on the other side. 19 is the bolt. I'm gonna try to show you guys. The bolt is right there. That one right there. So where my flashlight is, you go through. There, the bolt is back there. 19 millimeter. And then the nut is 17 millimeter. Let me get that for you guys. The nut's right here. It's already loose. You're gonna want to start loosening up the motor mount. This is a 19 right here. Then this is bottom one is a 17. Same thing to the other side, passenger side. 19, 17, bottom one. And then you have this little plastic cover, 10 millimeters. There's 3 bolts, but mine only has 2. I'm just gonna show you guys. Let me get the caliper out of the way. ABS, there's the motor mount. This is what it looks like. The transmission is right there. I am back on the passenger side. I have unbolted both sides of the rack and pinion. I just want to show you guys something. A little word of advice. When you're doing this job right here, if you want to unbolt the sway bar, you can. You're gonna have to get wrenches. It's a little tight back there, but it's doable. Once you unbolt the rack and pinion, the bolt goes from the back to the front. You guys can see right there, that bolt. It's barely hitting the sway bar. It's barely hitting the sway bar. You can get it out. It'll come out. It will come out. My hand, I don't know. I'm trying to show you guys. I'm trying to do this with one hand, but you guys can see it hits. So you'll have to push it down under the sway bar. This is the sway bar right here. Let's try to show you guys. See how it hits there? It hits right there. So you have to push down under. And I'm trying to just do this with one hand, guys. It will come out. You have to go under, and then kind of pick up on the rack of pinion like that, and then it'll come out. Let me set the phone down, because like I said, I'm just doing this with one hand, guys. See how you pick up and you pull out. This is the bolt I was telling you guys about. It's gonna hit there, back there. My hand, it's gonna hit there. That sway bar. That's the sway bar. It's gonna hit. So you have to pick up on the racket pinion and then pull out. This is the racket pinion. You have to see it's loose. The other side is loose also. Don't lose this bolt and don't lose the other nut, the 2 bolts and nut that goes to it. But the racket pinion is ready. It's off. The racket pinion is going to stay on the car. So I'm back on top of the car. That's the motor mount, the front motor mount. You have 3. Let me move my flashlight. You have 3 of these 14, I'm sorry. 14 millimeter. You got 1, 2, and then you got a third one back here. It's back there. I'm trying to show you guys. Go around the pipe. So I can show you guys. There it is, right there. That one right there. 1, 2, and the third one right there. I still got it in there. I'm gonna take it out, but as you guys can see, there's already a gap. See? Then on the bottom, there's gonna be 3 more 14 millimeter. You got 1 right there, 1 back there, the other one on the other side. 14 millimeters. This total of 6. You guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see, but this motor mount is already loose. Before you start taking out the bolts, you want to support the transmission with the floor jack on the hard spot. Back here on the hard spot of the transmission. Not on the oil pan. The oil pan's in the front. On the hard spot. Jack up and support the transmission. This transmission is trash, so it doesn't matter. We're just gonna jack it up so we can move the motor mount, the front motor mount, and drop the subframe. Here comes the motor mount. Be careful. This is the front motor mount. Here it is. Said it has 3 14 millimeter bolts on top. And if you on the bottom has 3 more 14 millimeter nuts on the bottom. This is the front motor mount. I'm gonna set it aside. Then we'll drop the subframe. After we remove the front motor mount, I think it'll be a lot easier if we start going around and start loosening up the bell housing bolts. Don't take them out, just loosen them, because once we drop the subframe, there's nothing that's going to be holding the engine, and some of these are really tight, and we want to break the seal to the bolts before we take off the transmission and the subframe, because right now when it still has tension, everything's still tight. So you go around, there's gonna be a bunch of these 17 millimeter bolts, and under the starter here, the starter hole, there's a hidden one right here. This one, 17 millimeter, it's hidden. Don't forget, guys, this one is hidden. You go around, take your time. I'll show you guys. Go around. 17 millimeters. Go around the bell housing bolt. I'm gonna do it. Then there's a bunch of them around the bell housing bolt too. And then I'll show you guys how to do the flywheel bolts and the flywheel cover. It's under the transmission, but you want to go ahead and just start breaking the 17 millimeters loose. I am back under the car. I'm on the passenger side. This is the engine oil pan. That is the transmission oil pan. Under the transmission, well, all the bolts on top, the 17 millimeters, there's about 5 of them or 6 of them on top. There's 17 millimeters. And then if you come down here to the bottom of the transmission where the oil pans are, you're gonna have this exhaust downpipe bracket. I've already loosened it. It's gonna be a 12 millimeter bolt nut right there. Then this bracket should just come down, set it to the side. Then this is your flywheel bolt cover. This is where you're gonna remove this cover to unbolt the flywheel and the torque converter. So it's gonna be 10 millimeters, just two of them. One right here, the other one's right there, two. There it is. And that's the torque converter bolts. There's gonna be a total of 6 in there. So you'll have to spin the engine or get a pry bar, spin it right there somewhere, or from the crank pulley. Your best bet is from the crank pulley. Go clockwise. Go clockwise on the crank pulley, but on the bolts itself, lefty loosey, righty tighty. 6 of them. Then to drop the transmission, not yet, just loosen them. These bottom bolts, they're gonna be 14 millimeters. You got 1 right there, 2 right there, 3 right there, 4 right there, and then let me see if I could find more. I think that's 4 so far that I see. But it's gonna be 14 millimeters down here, 17 millimeters down up there, and then these flywheel bolts, they're also gonna be 14 millimeters. 1, 4. It's gonna be 6 of them, total of 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these up. I'm not gonna remove this, just loosen them. But I'm gonna remove these bolts. So these are the 14 millimeter bolts that I was telling you guys about. This is the torque converter bolts. There's gonna be a total of 6 in there. Go left. It's gonna be Loctite from the factory, so it might be a little tough. Here it is. It's not that long. It's just stubby. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's Loctite on there from the factory. It's gonna be a total of 6. And what you want to do is go to the front of the engine. This is the oil pan, subframe. Sorry guys, right there. This is my 1/2-inch ratchet. This is a 22 millimeter socket on the crank pulley. It's a little dark. I'm sorry, guys. You want to rotate clockwise. I'm rotating right now. I'm going to show you guys. Go back down to the flywheel bolt. Right there. You guys can see my right hand is on the crank pulley with a ratchet. Right there. I'm rotating it. See the new bolts coming? There's a total of 6. Repeat that 5 more times. There it goes. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Take that off. Repeat it. Do it 4 more times. There should be a total of 6 bolts. Once you have all the flywheel bolts unbolted, there's 6 bolts on the flywheel, then you're gonna want to come back to the either side, but both sides of the motor mounts. I'm on the passenger side, so this will be the engine side motor mount. The top one is gonna be a 19 millimeter. Then you have 3 of these 17 millimeters. You got 1 here, you got 1 there. It's already loose. Then the other one's back here. The other one's back here, under the lower control arm. So under. Then you guys can see it's already loose. It's loose. The gap. Go to the other side, do the same. Then we're ready to drop the subframe. Once you have loosened the motor mounts on both sides, do not drop the subframe yet. Do not drop the subframe. If you have a transmission jack, which you will need, I scraped it, but you guys can see it did say transmission jack, but it's scratched. I got it from Harbor Freight. I use the transmission jack on this side because this is the engine side, and the transmission jack is flat, so I'm going to use it to support the engine. And then as you guys can see in the back, the red one is still holding the transmission up. And then we're gonna do this to support the top, because we're gonna have to drop the subframe. And when you drop the subframe, there's gonna be nothing holding the engine. So you're gonna need an engine support. I'll show you guys that in 1 second. But support the engine. Get ready, because we're gonna have to go up top. Once you go back up on top, what I like to do is I like to remove the motor, the top passenger side motor mount. It's gonna be a 14 millimeter here, 17 millimeter here, and another 14 millimeter. Just 3 bolts. And then this motor mount should come out, because we're gonna support it with the bar that's gonna go all the way across. I'll show you guys here in a second when I take this motor mount off. But the motor is support, it's not going anywhere. But the motor, once we move this motor mount, the motor will be loose, and if we drop the subframe, it will drop the motor, and I don't want to drop the motor, so I'm going to support it. I'll show you guys in 1 second as soon as I move this motor mount. This is the motor mount that I pulled out of the passenger side motor here, the motor side, passenger side. Again, this is the 14 millimeter, 17 millimeter bracket that holds the mount and the engine together right here. And this is another 14 millimeter. I'm gonna set this to the side for a second. This is the support bar that I bought from Harbor Freight a few years back. I've been using this for a while. It's great on smaller vehicles, but for a Camry, this is the engine support bar. For Toyota Camry, I'll tell you guys the truth, it's a little too short. For like Honda Civics and Corollas, it's perfect, it's great. But once you step up to like a Camry and anything bigger, it's too short. I'll tell you guys, this is the problem I'm having. So as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but right here it's starting to bend. It barely reaches. So these two knobs right here, they're fighting each other. And this side is okay, but on the Camrys, if you go to this side, how they're fighting each other, this side is barely sitting on the edge, and there's times where it'll fall into the crack, and it's all bad. It's all bad. So I knew that I was gonna run into this problem. I ran into this problem a few times, and I've been telling myself to make an upgraded bar or support bar. And so I went down to the local iron shop and I made one. This is 2 by 1 by 16th wall. So you guys can see, I welded it up myself. I just tacked it. Nothing special, trust me, nothing special. I just tacked it. I tacked it in here, tacked it in there, just tacked it. It's a little longer, if you guys can see. I made it longer on both ends, so I don't run into this problem again. I'm gonna use this bar with these leg support and with this hook, these hooks. And then I'm gonna hook a chain to this motor mount and run a bolt through. And I'm gonna tighten this up to hold the engine up. And then so I can move my transmission jack out, and then I can use my transmission jack to put my new transmission in. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the middle part of the engine right here. So I'm basically gonna have 2 support, one here and one there to hold the engine. And then I'm gonna drop the transmission. I'm gonna show you guys. Here's the new transmission. This is the TCM I was telling you guys about. It's in front of the engine. Shift selector, cable, the shift cable. This they pulled the tab. I just unbolted it from the 212s right here. This is the ground. It's a ground. This is a ground right here. Torque converter. These are the 6 bolts I was telling you guys about. I took them off the Camry already, and I put them in here so I don't lose it. Yeah. Let's get back up here. I'm gonna swap this bar over. I'm not gonna use this red bar, but I'm gonna use my bar. And then I'm gonna hook the chain onto the engine. Support here, support there, and get ready to drop the subframe and the transmission. So I got my support bar, engine support bar set up. It's tight. Engine is tight, as you guys can see. I had to move the motor mount, which I showed you guys already. I put a little tension on here, on the engine. I ran a bolt through, all the way through. Make sure it's tight. I put a washer on it too. And then right here on this side, I went through the thermostat. There's a thermostat right there. It's loose. This is just for security. I don't want to put tension on the thermostat. It's just for security. Because if anything does happen and it does fail, at least this tries to hold it, and I already secured it up here too. It will not fall through the gap. You know, at least I can try. Safety first. And then if you go here to the passenger side wheel well, I have already removed the motor mount. Once again, it's a 19. You got 3 of these 17mm bolts, nuts. And then the engine is loose. Like I said, I have 2 jack stands under here supporting the engine. One on the oil pan with the rag. It's sitting on the rag. And then this one also is sitting in the middle of the engine, not on the transmission. Then we're gonna start lowering the subframe. You go around here, it's gonna be 8 of these 14mm. They're nuts and bolts. There's 8 of them, 2 on each corner. So there's gonna be 2 here, 2 on this corner, which is the front, and then 2 on the other side, and then 2 on the other side, the driver rear. So there's a total of 8. And then after you get those off, you have these big bolts down here. If I can show you guys, I've already loosened this. This one's really rusted. It's 19mm, really rusted. You guys can see rust is just falling. Look at all this rust. I'm gonna anti-seize it, but it's a 19mm. There's 4 of them. They're gonna. Look how much rust that is. This one. There's 4 of them, and that should drop your subframe. Okay, but if you go before you drop the subframe, you want to go on the other side. Grab your transmission jack, like this one. I got it from Harbor Freight. This is an old one. You want to go to the other side, driver's side. Put this on the oil pan, so that way it holds the transmission. I'm back on the driver's side. This is the transmission jack. I have it on the transmission. It's just for support. It's barely on there. It's barely tight. It's just for support because I already got the 2 jack stands on the bottom. But it's just for extra support because we're going to drop the whole subframe. And like I said, there's 2 more of these 14mm on the back driver and the front driver. Okay. And then there's also 2 of these 19mm. One there, one there. Once you hit all 4 corners, the subframe will drop. I didn't move the transmission mount on here. It's because the transmission mount is going to drop with the subframe. I know the other side I moved it, but it was just because the other side had the motor mount and I had to adjust the bar and stuff like that. But yes, I'm going to drop the subframe. And I'll show you guys. I'm going to once I have the subframe out, I'm going to walk through everything with the rack of pinion and all that. The motor mount. The subframe is lowered. You guys can see the subframe is on the floor. The engine is supported by the 2 jack stands and the engine support bar up top. The rack of pinion will stay on the car. Make sure to use a bungee or something to help support the rack of pinion, because I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a bungee cord. I'll show you guys. I have a bungee cord right there, this right here. I'm sorry, this one right here. This is a bungee cord. It's supporting it.
And then once you lower the subframe, you can't pull the subframe out because the two jack stands are in the way. But as you guys can see, it's loose. See? So because the engine, the engine support, I'll show you guys. Let me go up top. The engine support is holding the engine up. This is tight. This is fairly loose because the jack stand down there is holding this side of the engine. The transmission is loose. The only thing that's supporting the transmission is just this jack. That's it. But I'm gonna use this jack to hold the transmission up. Go back down here. Pull these out like this. One by one. Go grab that one. I'm gonna grab it. Then we could slide the subframe out. And then once you slide the subframe out, put these jack stands back. It's just for support. You know, instead of trying to do repairs on the outside and then next thing you know, the engine falls and then now we owe him a new engine. It's just support, guys. Safety. Be cautious. You know, some people's gonna say you have to move the sway bar. Obviously I didn't. It's gonna wrap around the rack pinion. So all you do is lift up. It's gonna be tight. And then swing this arm this way, it'll clear. You could drop it. You can drop it. But if you want to lower it, go ahead. It's gonna be four of these 12 millimeters. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Then if you want to, now's your chance to do your lower control arms, change out any subframe bushings, clean up the subframe if you want. I'm gonna let him know that his power steering line is leaking right here and back there. See if he wants to change it. Like I said, I'm just a mechanic, but I will let him know that he needs a bunch of stuff like tie rods, sway bar. Look at that. They're all yeah. Look at that. He needs new axles, new motor mounts. Then again, like I said, I'm just gonna let him know. I'm gonna pull that jack stand out, pull this subframe out. I'll probably take it to get pressure washed really fast because it's dirty as hell. Support the engine. Then we're gonna go after the transmission. But before we can go after the transmission, we gotta start loosening up all the bolts. There's 17 millimeters on top, and then there's 14 millimeters on the bottom. Subframe is out. Engine is supported. I put the two jack stands back down there to support the engine. Right there. There's no more subframe, as you guys can see. The transmission jack is supporting the transmission, the oil pan, because we're about to pull the transmission. But before we pull the transmission, we have to go around and start loosening these bolts. You want to start from the bottom. Do the 14 millimeter bolts. There's like maybe like 6 of them down there. No more than 6. And then on top, there's gonna be 17 millimeters. You got one right there. You got one right there. You got 2 of them down here. Remember, don't forget this hidden one. This is the hidden one right here. Just go around slowly, work at it. Then once you get the transmission unbolted, get your pry bar. Start wedging here. It'll separate. It'll separate. But before it separates, grab another chain. The chain that comes on the jack is not long enough. So you're going to want to secure the transmission onto the floor jack. Onto the transmission jack. So it doesn't move on you or shift on you when you're trying to pull the transmission out. And also, word of advice, you're going to have to pull the transmission out. So you're going to need to jack the car up high enough to where it clears. It clears the fender well. Just a word of advice. And I'm going to upgrade to the 6 ton, I think. Because my 3 tons are probably maxed out. So I'm probably going to go to 6 ton. But just want to let you guys know, once it sits on the transmission jack, then you have to count for the height of the transmission jack plus the transmission plus the fender well. But if you just say, I'm going to set the transmission down, it's junk anyways, go ahead, it's up to you. That's dangerous. I would not recommend doing that. But just wanted to give you a heads up. You're going to have to jack the car up. and then start adjusting all your jack stands again. But I have the chain here. I'm gonna secure the transmission. Unbolt all the bolts. Pry the transmission, slide it back, lower it. Then once I have the transmission out, I'll walk you guys through it. Okay, old transmission is out. Here's the old one. This is the new one. The new one, it's used from a dismantled place. That's what the driver said. The old one, super dirty. New one, they try to clean it. I can tell a little dirt mark here and there. Also, I noticed in the old transmission inside the bell housing, something's broken in here. It's been going around, flying. You guys can see there's dents everywhere. Something's been dancing around in here. It's all over the torque converter. Like something broke in here internally. Because if you look at the new used transmission, it's clean. And another thing I noticed, the torque converters. This one has a little stub on it, and this one doesn't. It's flat. It's like a saucer or disc shape. I want to take this off. I'm going to move this I don't know. It just holds the torque converter in so it doesn't fall out. The bracket, whatever they want to call it. I'm going to move it. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to put it on the flywheel and test it this side to see if it fits. Because my main thing is the stub. I understand the stub goes in, but if the stub doesn't matter, does the diameter of the plate, let's just call it the plate or the saucer here, fit? I'm going to take this off. I'm not going to use this one because I think something internally is broken. But if you guys can see, let me get up. Right there. So that disc would go in here. I want to take the torque converter off, flip it backwards, and see if it fits in here. And if it does fit, then we'll go. If not, then I have to let the driver know that they need a new torque converter. We've got to find the right one. But I mean, the driver did tell the dismantler place that he gave them his VIN number, and they matched it up. And by double checking, everything looks the same. This fill plug, that fill plug, shifter, TCM, even the ground, breather, starter hole. The only thing I notice is different is the torque converter. I'm gonna do the initial test, my test. But yes, the transmission is out. You could say we're halfway there. We're gonna put the transmission, swap transmission, and then put this transmission on that jack, secure with the chain. Cause like I said, the chain from Harbor Freight is not long enough. I'll tell you guys the truth. I got lucky. The car was high enough, so I managed to pull the transmission out. I got lucky. We didn't have to upgrade to the 6 tons. Those 6 tons over there. So we're gonna keep on going. I'm gonna have my son, or if not, I'll get my cherry picker, but I'm pretty sure me and my son could pick it up. Throw it on here, swap everything over. Oh, another word of advice. You want to use your old TCM on this new transmission. So you're gonna swap TCM because not unless you have to reprogram this one, but I don't wanna take the chance and say, yes, use this one. No, use your old one. Use your old TCM. Okay? Just 2 bolts. 1, 2. 12 millimeter. 1, 2. Okay? We're gonna do that. I just took off the torque converter. I went off this new used transmission just to verify. I took it off because, like I was saying, the back here, they're different. But the shaft, the little nub on the end right here, doesn't matter. My main concern is the diameter. And so I took it off and I insert it onto the transmission. Onto the engine where the flywheels and the crank. It does fit perfect around here. It fits perfect. So I even lined up the 6 bolts. It lines up perfect. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm spilling. I'm spilling ATF. I'm gonna put the torque converter back in. The hardest part is these two right here. You got these 2 keyways. They go in here. There's 2 keyways in here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look closely, there's 2 keyways, and then these splines right here have to match up too. So you're gonna go in 2 different spline housing. You got one here, and plus the 2 keyways. And it'll drop in twice. You'll feel it dropping once, and you start rotating, it'll drop in twice. Once it drops in twice, you'll feel it. It goes click, click, and that's when you know you're in. But yes, it does work. I'm gonna put this torque converter back in. If you want to change this oil pump seal, go ahead and change it. I don't think I need to change it. It doesn't seem like it's leaking. I mean, I should, but I already talked to the owner. He said that if it's not leaking, he don't want to spend money. The owner basically is gonna get rid of the car. He just wants something to trade in. So I don't think he wants to spend a lot of money on it, but he for sure wants the transmission running. So I'm gonna put the torque converter back in. Like I said, do the swap, put this transmission on there. We call it stab. I'm gonna put the transmission back on. I'm gonna stab the transmission. I changed transmission over. This is the new used transmission that's about to go in. A word of advice. I forgot about the ratchet strap. Honestly, this is the best friend. This is your best friend right here to secure the transmission onto the jack, because transmission will want to slide and do his own thing. You're going to be fighting the jack and the transmission more than anything. I've done this repair a few times and I forgot about the ratchet strap. This is the best right here, ratchet strap. Use the ratchet strap. Forget the chain. The chain is loose, you're going to fight it, whatever. But before you put the transmission in, the new used transmission, make sure you have the correct bolts, because the top ones, I'm gonna correct it. I'm gonna correct it. Earlier I didn't have an account, but now I have a count. There's gonna be six of these 17 millimeter bolts, 6 of them on top. They all go on top, the 17. So it's gonna be like right here. I'm not on the other side, so I can't really guarantee. But as you guys can see, it's gonna be like right here. It's gonna be like that one, maybe that one. You know, you guys can see for sure it's that one. This is the hidden one, I think. Is it? Yeah, this is the hidden one. You keep on going. There's going to be a total of 6 up here. Then on the bottom, there's going to be a total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 14 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4. So there's a total of 10. 10 on the bell housing. The 17s are 6. The bottom ones are 4. 14. And then the best way to put this transmission in, you're gonna have these 2 dowel pins right here. You got this one, and I think this one. Maybe there's 3. I think that one too, or 4. But you wanna line up these dowel pins right here, right there, yeah. And then there's gonna be a total of 6 of these torque converter bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's gonna be the small one, itty bitty ones, 14 millimeters. But you put these on last. Once you got the transmission nice and flush, you put them on last. But I tightened this up. I bent it so this doesn't shift and spin, because I've had it to where if you don't put this to hold it, it's gonna shift. But once you get the transmission close enough to the engine, take this off, because obviously this is gonna get in the way. I'm just doing this so if when I do slide the transmission under the car, it doesn't pop out. And when it pops out, it's a pain sometimes to put this back in. So I'd rather have it secured like this, ready to go. I have not changed TCM yet. I'm gonna do that right now. I just wanted to secure the transmission onto the jack. But yes, you will need to swap over TCM. Yep, I'm gonna put the transmission back in. And then tighten up the bell housing one by one. Work at it slowly. Do not forget this hidden one. This is a hidden one right here. As you guys can see, once again, transmission is out. I'm gonna slide it back in. Tighten everything up. Then I'm gonna show you guys the subframe. Walk you guys through the suspension and subframe. The rack of pinion is still right there. It's held on by a bungee cord and the steering column itself. But do not let it hang by itself on the steering column. You're just damaging the steering wheel, because the steering wheel has like electrical and stuff like that in there. So you guys can see, chain is still loose. There's no tension on this. There's tension on this chain. But I'm gonna slide the transmission back in, and then once I slide it in, I get it close, I'll show you guys what to do. Got the old transmission right there. Got the new transmission under the car, ready to be installed. So I got it close. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm gonna try to do it the best I can. I got it close, because you can't quite put the transmission on, because that bar, I put this bar that's holding the torque converter. I kind of have it at an angle, just like maybe 1 or 2 degrees tilted up, because you don't want it tilted forward, or else the torque converter will fall out, and that's happened to me a few times, and I don't like that. Yes. Oh, another thing. Go down here under the car. Let me show you guys. Okay, so what you want to do is line up. I'm sorry, let me get my flashlight. So what you want to do is line up the torque converter and the flywheel bolt. Right? The torque converter and the flywheel. Get ready for the bolt. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect. You can move it around. Just get it ready, lined up, because when you do put it up, you're not fighting the flywheel or try to line it up. It's close to home already, and all you got to do is get your like a screwdriver or alignment tool and just line it up. I'm under the car. This is the flywheel cover, the bolt cover, and I'm gonna remove this plate. There's that plate that's holding the torque converter. I have it up there. I got the new transmission installed. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm gonna try to zoom it in for you guys. It is tight. That's just the top bolt. I did not put all the bolts in yet, but that's the top bolt. It is tight. I went ahead and tightened up that bolt down here too. This one right here where the light's shining, that one's tight. I went back there behind the engine. I tightened up a 14 millimeter. There's only 3 bolts on the transmission right now, because I want to show you guys something. We're gonna go down there and show you guys the flywheel, because you can mess with the flywheel and the torque converter from up here, but you can't see nothing. That's what they made a sight hole down there for us to work through. And I'm gonna show you guys about earlier when I talked about clocking the torque converter, and I'll show you guys. Just grab like a pick or a screwdriver, and down here, so you guys can see, this is the torque converter and the flywheel. This is the flywheel. This is the torque converter back here. See how earlier I said to clock it as close as you can? We're not close, but we're close. Like we're close, but we're not close enough. So just grab like a pick or something, just slowly work at it. See, now we're straight. You guys can see we're straight. Just grab your bolt, 14 millimeter, tighten it, and then turn the crank pulley clockwise. Always go clockwise. Then tighten it up. There's 6 bolts. I'm sure there's a torque spec if you want to look online, but since the bolts are so tight, so short, you can just hand tight. And if you want, put like a little thread lock. This is the hole we're gonna work out of. You guys can see the jack stands are still here, because I barely put the transmission on. It's still missing some bolts. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up these flywheel bolts and tighten up the bell housing bolts. But that's how you do your transmission. On Camry. I'm gonna slowly put everything back together. I'm gonna try to walk you guys through it, but this is it, guys. The transmission is basically done. I mean, put your cable back on, you know, your cover and all that, starter. Switch your computer now. I should have done it earlier, but I want to show you guys where it's at. It's in front of the transmission. I'm gonna put the subframe back up because we're practically done. So I'm gonna put the subframe back up. You know, the big 19 millimeter bolts. There's 4 of them on each corner. Just remember, on each corner, there's 4 of them. Old transmission, done with, trash. I'm gonna see what the owner wants to do with it. New transmission's in. All the bell housing bolts are tight. 17 millimeters on top, 14 millimeters on the bottom. The flywheel and torque converter bolts are tight, 6 of them. I slid the subframe under the car already. The easiest way I have found to install the subframe is to get 2 jacks, 2 floor jacks like this, and go from the middle on each side and slowly pump at the same time. Go up, 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 up. And then remember when remember this back here, back there where my finger is, that bracket, you have to be careful. You slide that rack of pinion back in. That's where that long bolt goes in. The long bolt goes this way towards the front of the car, okay? This is the driver's side. That's the axle hole right there. If you guys can see. This is the new transmission. It's already in. I'm gonna go and tighten up all the 4 corners. They're 19 millimeters and 14. You got the small ones right here, see? They're not tight yet. 14, these are 14. That big one, not this one. That big one's a 19. Like I said, use 2 floor jacks. This is your best bet. Use 2 floor jacks, lift them up at the same time. And then this will be your guide right here. The transmission. Once it goes in, you know that, oh, you're straight. So you can start bolting those up. Once you have tightened up your subframe on the bottom, all 4 bolts, the big ones, you can come up to the front here where your engine support is. I've already tightened all the 4 bolts. You can start releasing your engine now, your transmission, like this. Yep, there we go. No more tension. Because the engine is sitting on the subframe already, the cradle. So we're done. Just gonna reassemble the axle, put transmission fluid in it, reassemble the cable, put up the shocks, the hub, finish up, assemble the front mount here, tighten up the rack and pinion, the 2 19 millimeter bolts, the lines, a way to support the engine. Like I said, the one from Harbor Freight is great, but it's too short. That's why I had to custom make this one. These work great. I recommend this to anybody. They help out a lot, especially these transverse sideways engines. Yeah, just watch the video, put everything back together. Remember, don't mix the coolant, don't mix the oil lines. That's why we marked it. Yeah, battery, your airbox, shift linkage cable. Don't forget your rack of pinion. The rack of pinion, it has to sit in that slot of the subframe. But yes, transmission is done. It's ready to go. Like, I can't drive it, but it's gonna start in about a few hours. Once again, guys, I want to thank you guys. Always, I want to thank you guys for joining me, for watching these videos. I honestly can't do it without you guys. You guys motivate me to keep on going, to spread my knowledge. I just want to say thank you, guys. So before I put the transmission back in the car, I want to lay everything out and walk you guys through it, because sometimes holding the camera and trying to do repairs, it can be a little difficult. People might get lost, but this is everything laid out. This is the whole subframe right there, that big square. That's the downpipe. Those are the oxygen sensors I was telling you guys about. You need that special 22 millimeter or 7/8 oxygen sensor socket. Then these are the subframe bolts, those long ones. You can tell they're rusted. I'm gonna throw some anti-seize on there. That one too. They're all on 4 corners. I already put that one in. These are the shocks, the CV axle. I put the motor mounts in, but you guys can see I put the nuts next to it because it's gonna be 3. Then I haven't taken this one off. This is a 19 millimeter. If you want to do your lower control arm, these are gonna be 22 millimeter, and that one's gonna be a 19 millimeter. This bolt right here, 17 on this nut, and this one in the back is gonna be a 19. This is the rack pinion. This is where your rack pinion is gonna sit. And in order to get this bolt out, this is the bolt I was telling you guys. It's gonna hit back here. So what you have to do is lift up the rack pinion and then go down. There's a slot right here. You can fit it, barely fit it. It'll come out. These are 12 millimeters if you want to loosen these or take them off. They're a sway bar. This is the downpipe. I walked you guys through it. It's just 14s, 14 millimeter. It's gonna be a 12 millimeter on that bracket under. There's a bracket under there. That's the new transmission, old transmission. I'm about to get ready to put this in. This is the shock, the CV axle on the driver's side. I lined it up. This is the car. I lined it up just like if it was you were gonna grab this and just tuck it under the car. This is everything. When you put the CV axle in, it's very important. This ring right here, do not lose this ring. This ring sits in this groove right here. There's a groove right there. And this clip, this outer clip, sits out here on these two. It'll fall in place. It has to fall in place. Okay. This is the bolt. Shock, axle, subframe bolt, subframe itself. Oh, this is the front motor mount. These are the bolts. 14 millimeter. These are the nuts on the bottom. There's 3. The driver's side subframe bolt front. Driver's side motor mount. 3 nuts, 17 millimeter. Sway bar end link. The one in the back. Driver's side axle, driver's side shock. That's it. This is the complete suspension and transmission.